Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Is everybody staying warm? It's a little chilly here in Florida. How is everybody doing? Hi, you guys. Hello, 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 hello. Are you staying warm? Let me know in the comments. Are we staying warm? Are we ready for Thanksgiving? What are we doing? All right. So there is a lot going on. Not only nationally, but there is a lot going on right here in our local city. So I first want to say, locally, we've got our own situations going on. So many times I've wanted to just spill the tea, tell it all, just go off, right? Because people are really pissing me off. Just quite frankly, I'm just really getting pissed off. And Andrew Foreman, you're bundled up. Good. Where are you from, Andrew? And so, it's crazy when people get mad because you're trying to do the right thing. Do you find that crazy? Do you find it crazy? People are mad, and this is here locally, but this goes, this is beyond just Jacksonville. This is, it's human beings. It's what we do. But when you see, especially when it comes to people who are supposed to be elected to serve other people, it's really frustrating. And particularly, I came, okay, all right, Andrew, you're from Southside Jacksonville. All right, that's what's up. Welcome to the show. I hope you enjoy it. Everyone, welcome to the Keisha King Show. So I'm talking about our local politics and some of the things that are going on here, and about how it's really disheartening when you see people who are mad at you because you want things to be done right. You want people to be treated fairly. You want our party to live up to the values and the things that we say we believe in. I mean, when I came over from the Democrats in 2017, I met a lot of our local, leadership now, currently. And I was so excited. I was excited. I was thankful that my mind had been open, that God had really showed me the error of my ways and how I viewed life. Many of you know my story. I was, believing that I was seeing everything through skin color and not through the eyes of Christ. And God said that my skin color had become an idol in my life. And it changed my life forever. It changed my entire life. And so when I, discovered that in that, I was voting for the people that perpetuated things that I did not believe in. And when I see my local party doing things that look very similar from what I left, when I see my local party not living up to the values that we say we believe in. And I'm no idiot. I'm no saint. I'm no idiot. I'm not. We all could succumb to making bad decisions. No one is exempt from making bad decisions. But when those things are brought forward to you, and you're literally just pushed aside, you're like discounted, you're not even. Melena says truth. Yes, Melena, with your pretty self. It's really disheartening. And one of the fears that I have is that our party, and this is locally and nationally, that all of the people that will come in to who are leaving the Democrats, and they're like, we're done. When they come in and then they have the same experience, if we don't change some things, they have the same experience that I have, they're not going to stay. They're not, because most people are not going to put up with this kind of stuff. They're going to just withdraw. And that's probably what these people want, for people to just withdraw. Like, we're not going to be paying attention to this stuff. I'm out. I can't rock with the Democrats. I can't rock with the Republicans. That old saying, it's two sides of the same coin. I don't believe that, because I believe that the values that the Republican Party has are values that can help you have a better life. I believe those things. I truly do. They are time tested. However, when you have leadership, and this goes up and down, this applies to any political party. This applies to anything. When you have leadership that doesn't uphold those things, that doesn't uphold those values, it is going to really, it's not going to, it's going to make people think that you're a liar. It's going to make people think that you're really not about that life that you claim that you're about. And, as Republicans, we can't afford for people to not rock with us, because in case you missed it, when Joe Biden literally has had the worst 2 years a president probably has had in a very long time, if ever, we barely flipped the House, and we're still debating about the Senate. Got problems over there in Arizona. We got problems. We have problems, and we don't have the luxury of foolishness. These kids are kids who are literally like on the front lines, who have to deal with these teachers and these administrators who are literally trying to activate them, radicalize them, organize them into little Marxists, because let's be clear, that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. We don't have time for this. We have already probably lost a whole generation. I feel like that's a liberal estimate. We've lost already a whole generation. So we don't have time for Republicans to who act like Mitch McConnell, funding candidates that they really want to go forward, who will kiss their ring, who will do whatever they're telling them to do, despite the will of the people. We don't have time for stuff like that. Our country is literally like hanging off of a cliff, and it's like it takes that one little push to just push it over. And we have Republicans in leadership, local and other places too, who really could care less. They've already made their deals. They think they've made their deal. They think that they have made their deal, but the devil will trick you every time. He will bring you in and take you to the pinnacle. All these things I will give you if you bow down and worship me. Ain't that what he said? But the cost The cost, the cost, oh, the cost will cost you. Check your beliefs again. Donald Trump, Matt Gaetz, Marjorie Greene, virtually every Republican senator. Wow. And it's the same country. Everyone is blaming the other when they're both horrible. Timothy, check whose beliefs. My belief is in Christ. My belief is good. But I am on the battlefield, and I believe that Christ said, we are to occupy until he comes. So what am I supposed to do? Just maybe you need to clarify. Maybe I'm not understanding what you're saying. But my hope is in Christ. My hope is not in a politician or a party. I don't pledge allegiance to, spiritually. I don't pledge allegiance to the donkey or the elephant. My allegiance is to the lamb. Okay, so let's just be clear on that. But let's see, we got Psalm 2 for Liberty. Hey Keisha, I'm pretty thrilled overall with the election results. You too, Carrie Lake is fighting hard. Looks like recount time. I mean, a win is a win. We have the House. We're still debating the Senate. I'm happy that we barely scraped that out. A large part thanks to Florida and New York, where and some California congressional seats out there. But as bad as the country, as bad as where Biden has us, and we don't have 20 seats, that we flipped. Yeah, it's a little concerning because like I have been saying, I've been saying this to our local leadership for years. We need to change our message. We need to offer people something. We need to change our image. We need to rebrand. All of these things I've been saying. They told me kick rocks. Yep. We don't want to hear that. No, we can't do it. Everything is can't. No. Oh gosh, my microphone is not even close. Hope you guys can hear me pretty good. But yeah, it's just been shoo. Best thing I ever said. Okay, Timothy. Thanks, Bill. We got problems. And if we don't offer people something, they ain't gonna rock with us. They're not. We have to offer people something. And these young Democrats, these young progressives, they're organized. They are on message. The schools are activating them, turning them into little radical Marxists. And they're marching full steam ahead. Meanwhile, we are over here, can't figure out that we need to be America first. Why can't we figure that out? Why can't we figure that out? I don't understand. I really don't get it. Anyway. Oh, Janelle, thank you. Thanks, Boo. I love you. Mitch McConnell, let's see. Mitch McConnell has been under investigation for conflict of interest by Peter Schweizer, investigative journalist. Yeah, we're going to talk about Mitch. We're going to talk about Biden. We're going to talk about Mitch. And we're going to talk about Josh Hawley. So yeah. Yes, we are. Mitch McConnell, he's it's like these local leaders and these local people, they want to do what Mitch does. They want to be the Mitch of these local cities. So y'all know that Mitch McConnell was funding certain candidates, pulling that money away, and then funding other candidates just for kicks and giggles, like to prove a point to go against Trump or to, it had nothing to do with the will of the people. How dare you? How dare you? You take these people's money, and we're going, even if it's like corporations and stuff like that, you take these people's money and you defy the will of the people because regardless of where you got the money from, people who want to be like Mitch, y'all know who I'm talking. People who want to be like Mitch. I want to be like Mitch. People who want to put money here, put money there behind their candidates. The people still elected you. Don't forget, the people still elected you. Your responsibility is to the people. Maybe you didn't read how this thing works, but it's we the people. Maybe you need a refresher on the Constitution. Everybody, I've been seeing these talks about, oh, Keisha doesn't know what she's doing. Keisha's incompetent. Oh, go read the model Constitution. Well, I read it. I read it and I read it well. Maybe y'all need to go read the model Constitution. Maybe you need to go read the Constitution. Maybe you need to go do that, because it's the will of the people that you're supposed to be fulfilling when you get in office. So maybe it's y'all that need to go and reread. Maybe it's not me. I'm just saying. Kelly Wayne, love you, Keisha. You're so right. Thank you. Thank you, darling. I appreciate that. Let's see what we got here. Biden claims we are democracy USA. We are democracy. USA has never been a democracy. USA is a constitutional representative republic. If we can keep it. If you think we are democracy, that is how you govern. They need to go read. They need to go and read, Pat. We are. I can't stand when I hear people say, we have a democratic process, meaning like you vote and then the people who the majority of those, but we are not a democracy. We are not a democracy. So yes, they need to get it. They need to get it together. This is a great point. You guys, listen to this. So Pat says, never call them leaders. They are representatives. That's a really great point. I like that. I guess I was referring to because they hold leadership positions. For instance, like, Mitch McConnell will, looks like he'll be the leader of the majority, the leader of the party in the Congress majority, or in the Senate. Leadership in that way. And we have local leadership. So that's what I meant. But I understand what you're saying, Pat. Let's see. We got Psalm 2. Remember what Winston Churchill observed. If you're not a liberal at 20, you have no heart. If you're not a conservative at 40, you have no head. Under 30s will wise up in time. You know what, Psalm? That's been let me leave this up. This has been the typical thinking of, I think, most conservatives. Oh, we'll just catch them when they get older. We can't function like that. We can't function, not when the left is indoctrinating. It's one thing if they are just casually liberal, they're not really voting, they're not really doing anything. That was old. Now they are organizing, they are voting, they are like, they think they know about issues. They are completely misled, this younger generation. No, we have to get in there and compete for that vote. When they think about economics, there needs to be two messages that they hear. They hear what the left thinks, they hear what the right thinks. We need to compete for that headspace. We do. Otherwise, they're going to indoctrinate these kids. They're already doing it. And this is the thing. This is another reason why we can't wait. We can't wait because brainwashing and indoctrination is very hard to come out of. It is I can attest to that because I was on the left. And when you have to think about it like it's a cult, because that's what it is. And in fact, I'm actually writing a book about this. It's a cult. And with cults, when you study cults, they are very good at making you believe things that are not true. So much so that when the truth is presented To them, they cannot see it. Have y'all ever tried to talk to a liberal? Have you ever tried to like show them, like, look, Trump didn't say this or Biden said that? And they will literally reject the truth that is right in front of them. So we can't just lean into that way of how we used to be, of like, okay, well, that's what the left used to do. That's what young people do, and they'll grow up and they'll come out of it. It's not the same. We're not dealing with the same kind of thing. We are dealing with a different kind of people. That is exactly why we don't have time for people that are in leadership positions in the Republican Party, or we don't have time as a party. We don't have time as conservatives. We don't have time as believers to fool around like that and say, well, when they get older. We don't have time like that, because the indoctrination, the brainwashing is in full effect. So, but thank God for the victory that we did have. And because of that victory, we do have some Republicans who has the cojones, the fortitude to stand up and say something. Let's take a look at what the strong men and women with backbone in the Republican Party is doing in DC. So we have House GOP plans investigation of President Biden and family's business dealings. This is huge. Incoming chairman of the House Oversight Committee, James Comer, announces plans to begin an investigation into President Biden and his family's business dealings when they take over the majority in the 118th Congress. Representative Comer says Republicans have uncovered evidence of federal crimes committed by and benefit of members of the president's family, end quote, including, quote, conspiracy to defrauding the United States, wire fraud, conspiracy to commit wire fraud, violation of Foreign Agents Registration Act, violations of the Corrupt Practices Act, violations of Trafficking Victims Protections Act, tax evasion, money laundering, and conspiracy to commit money laundering. Let's take a look.
Staff to, quote, deflect Hunter stories. Protecting the president's son who has committed crimes with Americans' tax dollars is a waste. The domestic and international scheme that promised access to wealth in a future Biden administration constitute fraud. And the president's participation in enriching his family is, in a word, abuse of the highest order. Rooting out waste, fraud, and abuse will be the primary goal of a Republican House Oversight Committee. As such, this investigation will be a top priority. We are releasing a report today that details what we have uncovered. We are also sending letters to the Biden administration officials and Biden family associates renewing our request for voluntary productions of documents relevant to this investigation. This is an investigation of Joe Biden, the president of the United States, and why he lied to the American people about his knowledge and participation in his family's international business schemes. National security interests require the committee conduct investigation, and we will pursue all avenues that have long been ignored. Committee Republicans have uncovered evidence of federal crimes committed by and to the benefit of members of the president's family. These include conspiracy or defrauding the United States, wire fraud, conspiracy to commit wire fraud, violation of the Foreign Agents Registration Act, violations of the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act, violations of the Trafficking Victims Protection Act, tax evasion, money laundering, and conspiracy to commit money laundering. The Biden family's business dealings implicate a wide range of criminality, from human trafficking to potential violations of the Constitution. In the 118th Congress, this committee will evaluate the status of Joe Biden's relationship with his family's foreign partners and whether he is a president who is compromised or swayed by foreign dollars and influence. I want to be clear. This is an investigation of Joe Biden, and that's where the committee will focus in this next Congress. I now turn it over to Oversight.
Baby. Woo! Man, oh man. I was like, okay, GOP, I see you. Okay. You know, you see our Florida, one of our Florida congressmen back there, Congressman Byron Donalds. He hails from Florida. Let's get it. Let's do it. If we don't restore America to her ideals and what this nation was founded on, what are we gonna do? I'm here for it. I am here for it. These people have gone too far. They've gone too far. They're talking about investigating him for sex. I think it was, yeah. It's like alluding to like human trafficking. It says just trafficking, but I think it's like alluding to human trafficking. So, I mean, I don't even think anybody would be surprised. The way Joe Biden sniffs around young, girls that, anyway. Yeah, I'm here for it. What do you guys think about this investigation? And more importantly, what is it going to? Okay, so we investigate because the evidence is pretty much out there. You got, remember, Bob Linsky, you got Hunter's laptop. I mean, he's pretty much implicated himself, or the evidence is already out there. But where is it going to lead? Do you guys think it's going to lead to a impeachment? And then if he is impeached, will he be convicted in the Senate and then removed? I don't know. What do you guys think? And then we're going to have to deal with cackling Kamala. So I don't even know. But I think it's best that we get rid of these things. And you guys remember when Clapper and all of those people signed that document that said, this is Russian disinformation, and it had all of these social media, big tech basically pull down any and all stories of Hunter Biden's laptop. I think all of them need to come. Yeah, they need to be brought before Congress. They need to be investigated too. Why were you saying stuff like that? Why were you colluding with big tech to have this story taken down? And if there's illegal activity there, well, let's see. Joe Biden, head of the Biden 5 crime family enterprise. Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, James Biden, Frank Biden, and daughter-in-law Jill Biden is an accomplice. I didn't even think about Jill. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. It is pretty crazy that people would, go to such lengths to do business, because if you watch, the full press conference, they go into details about how Biden's, our oil crisis right now, and the dealings that they have with China. So it's like, you were willing to put Americans, our life, our things that we need are like oil and gas. So you were willing to sacrifice that for your own benefit. It's a particular kind of evil, especially when you've been elected to serve people. It's just disgusting. Censorship is what China does. Democrats too. It's true. Hey, you know what? We have people who will want to censor you on the right too. We have people, they don't do it out in public. They kind of put, they pull you behind the scenes. It's like, hey, yo, let me come holler at you. I don't really want you saying that. Who gonna check me, boo? We really don't. They don't want you to say it unless They're saying, so, it's like, what do they call it? The 11th commandment. In the Republican Party, they'll be like, oh, we don't ever say anything bad about another Republican unless it's a Republican that they don't like. Because they sure enough been saying bad things about me, and I'm a Republican. They sure enough been saying bad things about other people who ran for office and totally did completely egregious things to their fellow Republican candidates. They didn't have a problem doing that. So it's selective. We don't want you saying anything bad about us as Republicans. That's what they really mean. They don't want you saying anything bad about them. They could give a rip about what you say about other Republicans, and they will do it themselves as long as they think it will benefit them. So yeah, I'm just looking at the comments. Yes, Susan, it is greed. It is greed. It's disgusting. So let's get going here. These other stories that I wanted to share with you guys. So y'all know I love me some Josh Hawley. I did a story when that crazy-eyed lady was up there talking about that men can be women and women can be men, and that Josh Hawley was trying to eliminate and get rid of, trans women or whatever. Do you think that trans women can get pregnant? And Josh Hawley's like, no, I don't. It's not even a belief. Look, I know they can't get pregnant. Okay, it's not whether you believe it or not. It's I know this to be a fact. And so once again, Josh is telling the whole truth. Let's listen to what he said.
I think that this election was the funeral for the Republican Party as we know it. The Republican Party, as we have known it, is dead. And voters have made that clear. And in particular, the folks who did not vote for Republicans in this last election were independent voters, working class independent voters, folks who voted for President Obama once upon a time, folks who then voted for President Trump, but stayed home this time. We are not a majority party unless we can appeal to those voters. I'm not going to vote for Senator McConnell, and I've been very clear about that. I feel very strongly about that, and I said that before this election. So will somebody challenge him? I don't know. I don't give advice to my colleagues. So we'll see what others do. I don't have a prediction for you. I think that this election was the funeral for the Republican.
Josh Hawley came with all the smoke. He was like, it was a funeral. Because even though I know we have a win, and yes, we're celebrating that win, but we also have to, it's just like, like a football game. You know how when you win or lose, when you go back, you have to look at the tape. You have to look at how you performed, and you have to look at those areas, and you have to critique yourself. And it's nothing wrong with that. It is nothing wrong with self-critique. It is nothing wrong with constructive criticism. Everybody needs it. We all need to do that. And I understand, and I think a lot of Americans understand exactly what Hawley is saying, because the Republican Party at one point in time just seemed like it was just so much the party of big corporations. And it has, that is shifting, and it has left all of these, hardworking, I guess, blue collar working people behind. And that was the message that, it was a message that Donald Trump ran on in 2016, and I guess and 2020. And it's I'm sure it was a huge part of why he was elected, because when you have, you're literally watching your country deteriorate, you're watching an empire fall. It's sad. And you have to be honest. We have to be honest with ourselves of where we're really at and say, look, I mean, we barely squeaked out this win. when we really should have had tremendous it's when we should have had tremendous wins. I'm sorry, I'm looking at this comment here. Let's see. Timothy Smith says this country has turned into days of our lives. Where are the Christian values while disrespecting others simply because you disagree? People stone Jesus and you expect any of our leaders to be above reproach. It's hard to respect the disrespectful. Sister, make your point without name calling. Talk like you're being interviewed by God. Name calling? Who did I name? What did I say? What did I say? I don't know. I don't need to self-examine ourselves. We all examine our own hearts. We examine each other. I mean, yes, we do. I mean, but righteous anger. There is a righteous anger. When you have people who are literally telling you to kill your kids at 40 weeks, they're telling children to mutilate their bodies. I'm not, Jesus, there was a point, where Jesus was turning over some tables too, so let's not act like God was like, there is a wrath, there is Jesus. God don't play the radio. He doesn't play the radio. So and I'm not saying that we should be malicious to people. I'm not saying, but we should have, when there are people, they are strongly there is no shame. They're like, yes, we need to mutilate your children. Yes, we want the baby at 40 weeks. They are open about it. They're passing laws about it. They're celebrating on billboards about complete and total depravity. So I have no I'm not going to treat that with like it's like I'm not going to treat it with sweetness and being sweet and kind, with the message of the gospel. Absolutely. But when the enemy is literally right in front of your face and smearing all types of wickedness and displaying it before children, no, you got to get up out of here with that. Yes, I really like Josh Hawley. Absolutely. Murdering babies it's inexcusable. And I'm not going to be cool with people just doing. I think that's part of the problem. Nobody is literally saying, shame on you. That is disgusting. You have fell to a level of your outward display of pure evil it is disgusting. And I think we should absolutely condemn those acts fiercely. We absolutely should. Why would we pretend like something so disgustingly wrong is all right? No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. When we share the gospel, by loving kindness have I drawn thee. Absolutely, we need to share the gospel. But when I'm face to face with the enemy, they're not ready to hear. Well, I believe that you can be led. You can be led. I believe the Holy Spirit can lead you in a way to share the gospel with anybody, even if they are, some of the most depraved people, because God is, I've seen it done. But what I'm saying is that we need to be flat-footed, standing firm in where we are, not trying to negotiate. That's more so what I'm saying, not trying to negotiate and move people low, like just move the right over to the left more. Mitch McConnell was like, oh yes, we lost the independents. We were basically Republicans were too standing firm in what we believe. I don't believe that. We have lost every single institution to the left, which are completely wicked. This ain't your grandmama's Democrat, okay? Like these people are pure evil. They are out front with their evil. It's not the same. It is not the same. And so Mitch McConnell wants Republicans to be more, you know, he wants us to negotiate and compromise. That's the word I was looking for. He wants us to be more compromising. How much more can we compromise? They want to kill babies at 40 weeks. They want to mutilate our children and feed them a whole bunch of lies. How much are we going to compromise? I think we've compromised enough. Somebody said that to me a couple weeks ago. Well, Keisha, I think our party, we just need to compromise a little bit more. I almost compromise a little bit more. We've voted in here in Duval County. We have voted in with a majority Republican city council, men and women's bathrooms. How much more do you want me to compromise? Exactly when are we going to be able to take a stand? Because I really need to know this. When we can vote as Republicans for men and women's bathrooms, you tell me when are we supposed to take a stand? Because if we ain't gonna take a stand against that, we ain't gonna take a stand against anything. So you tell me when is the right time to take a stand if we can't take a stand against men and women's bathrooms? That's not compassion. That is foolery. It is delusional. You are seeing people go the wrong way and you're not saying anything. That is not compassion. Watching someone go down the wrong path and just say, oh, well, just let them keep going. Let me help you facilitate that. Let me help you facilitate your own delusion. Get the freak out of here. Nope, not doing it, not buying it. When are we allowed to stand our ground? If we can't stand up for women and children, you're out to dinner with your family, your 12-year-old daughter wants to go to the bathroom, like literally 10 years ago, you could say, okay, honey, go to the bathroom. Now you can't do that because you never know who's coming in there after her or who's already in there. But we're supposed to just compromise. Get out of here. What are we talking about? I am not compromising. We've compromised enough, don't you think? Don't you think that we have compromised enough? Oh, gosh. Psalm 2 for Liberty. Keisha, you've not been disrespectful. You're calling a spade. Boo-hoo. Your tone is quite fervent, like a mama bear. So that's okay. It is. Because that's when I think about my own children. I think about my own babies when, literally maybe 5 years ago, there would have been a thought of like a man in a woman's bathroom with your kid. But now it's something that you have to think about. And they're literally passing laws. Gavin Newsom is over in California saying, oh, everyone, we're going to be the abortion haven. Do you understand? They literally rip children apart in the womb. It is disgusting. It is disgusting. So when are we going to take a stand? If we can't do it in the face of this, we're never going to do it. Exactly, Pat. Compromise is to accept their psychosis. That is exactly right. Because these issues, the trans issue, it is thank you, Mike. God bless you as well. It is a mental health issue. And real compassion, not virtue signaling, not trying to tear America down, because that's what this is really about. This is not about, oh, we have to be there for trans rights. And we have to, it's not really about that, because real compassion would be to get these children some help. That's what real compassion, and not help like, oh, let me affirm the delusion. That's just like taking a person that's struggling with anorexia and they are 5'10" and 95 pounds. And you say, oh, you know what? You really don't need to eat anymore because, yeah, you really are fat. You really are. Ooh, you're really you need to push back the plate. That we would never tell an anorexic person that. Never. So why in the world is it all of a sudden so compassionate to affirm a delusion of men being girls and girls being men? It's crazy. Yes. So one more story that I want to talk about. Did you guys hear about, before we wrap this up, and thank you so much for sticking with me. If you guys have not subscribed to my channel, my YouTube channel, please hit the subscribe button, and also follow my page on Facebook if you are watching this on there. But do both. So there is a story about this white teacher in Texas who claims white supremacy. I have some interesting thoughts on this. Let's take a look. Okay, here we go.
Deep down in my heart, I'm ethnocentric, which means I think my race is the superior one.
Oh,
Right, no, let me finish. You can,
so white is better than all.
no, let me finish. You finish.
Okay.
I think everybody thinks that, they're just not honest about
Hey,
it.
I'm not racist though. I like you all types of kinds.
Did I say I don't like people?
People only think
Wait,
that.
so you said you are what? You are racist? And you're like,
I
you're
think
racist?
everybody's a racist at that level.
No, you said you are racist.
I did. Yeah, I'm trying to be honest. No, I'm not saying it again. I said it enough.
So you're
I
racist.
think I'm starting to tell you something. Yes,
Put your phone up.
I actually respected you for a while, but like now, I don't even got no more respect for you.
Put it up.
Yeah, sir. I don't think I got respect for him no more, bro.
You know, you should have more respect because I'm honest.
No, not at all.
That really broke my heart. The part that breaks my heart the most is when that little kid says, he pauses and he says, I used to have so much respect for you. I don't have respect for you anymore. It's really, really sad. So that teacher, this is controversial, I know, but I don't think that teacher meant what is being portrayed. And here's why. For years now, we have been hearing that white people have to own their white supremacy, that they have to admit that they are racist to be anti-racist. Have you guys heard of this? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Robin DiAngelo, Ibram X. Kendi, all of them say it's not a matter of if there was racism, it's where was the racism and how do we get it out of there? So they automatically assume that if you are white, you have to do the work of becoming an anti-racist. And that means that you have to admit your white supremacy. Because apparently white supremacy just comes with your melanin level. So if you're, according to Robin DiAngelo, Ibram X. Kendi, and all of these, crazy people, if you are white, just by your low levels of melanin, then you got to admit your racism. Yes, you are a racist if you deny. Yes, you are a racist if you deny you are a racist. That is exactly right. And so I know the story is, oh my God, this guy's racist and da, da, da. I don't really believe that. I think he thinks he's doing the work that he's supposed to be doing by being honest about his internalized white supremacy. I really do believe that. I really think that that's what he's doing. I think he believes that he's following in line with the anti-race. And this was bound to happen. This was bound to happen because the idea of being an anti-racist is stupid. It is stupid. It is dumb. Because if you automatically think that you are a white supremacist or a racist simply because you're white, I'm sorry, it's just dumb to me. Then you're going to say stupid stuff like that. Oh, well, I don't know this man's heart, and I don't perceive to be like the white person whisperer or anything like that. I'm not going to pretend that I know the heart, this man's heart, because I don't. But looking at all the rhetoric around this critical race theory, Robin DiAngelo, anti-racist, thank you. Yes, all of that stuff, it's a Democrat narrative. You are automatically a white supremacist and a racist if you don't have high levels of melanin. Of course, people are going to. Did y'all see the white folks a couple years ago with the BLM stuff who were bowing down to Black people, talking about, Lord, forgive us, forgive us, Lord, because we're white and we are, for the death, what our transgresses to our Black brothers and sisters. It's like, first of all, if you don't get your behind up, because I guarantee you they don't know these people and they have not done anything personally to these people. So what are you on your knees for apologizing? And for the Black people allowing those people to get down there, I swear, why doesn't any of this ever happen to me? Like, why am I never in those places where these kind of things happen? I would love to have been there so I could tell those people to get up, get some self-respect, and stop paying attention to this nonsense, because that's ridiculous. Just because you're white, you're automatically racist. And then it gives this notion that Black people can't be racist. That is stupid. Hi, Rachel. You say that all the time because it is so stupid. This is asinine. It is so ridiculous. Anyway, this has been really fun. Yeah, so these are some of the stories and things that are on my mind this week. Like I said, please make sure you like this video. Go over to YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to my channel because the censorship is real out here. And share this video. Share it with your friends and have them subscribe as well. I will see you guys next time on The Keisha King Show. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Bye-bye.
Forever.